welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Claire. It's great to have you here, and if you're returning, it's great to have you back. And so today I'm going to be creating this green and gold eyeshadow look, and I'm going to be using the Morphe Live in Colour palette to create this look. And if you'd like to see how I created it, please continue watching. So I'm using the Morphe Live in Colour palette, and I think they've brought it back out. It was originally out during Pride, and I think this was out the year before as well, so they'll probably be bringing it back this year if you don't already have it. But of course you can use whatever palette you do have and use similar shades. So this is how it looks. It's like a really nice rainbow palette, and as you know, I do love Morphe eyeshadows, so I'm going to create the green and gold look. And so firstly I'm going to prime my lid, and I'm going to use concealer to do this. So I'm using the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. And you don't want a thick layer of this. You want enough product that your makeup sticks, but you don't want too much on, because that'll just make all your shadows drag and they won't blend very nicely. So you just want to take that all the way up to the brow. Obviously I would normally do my eyes before the rest of my face, but I've already had my face on, so I just thought that I would just recreate the eye look. So first I'm going to take like a shorter bristled sort of like flat brush, and I'm going to take the darker colour that I want. I am going to use black, but first I'm going to go in with like my darkest green colour. So I'm going to go in with this sort of tealy one. So I'm just picking that up, and then I'm just going to pack that into my outer corner, and making sure that when your eye is open that you're still getting a little bit of that colour showing. Because if you're like me and you have like hooded lids, when your eyes are open you can't see the colour anymore. So you just want to make sure you've got a tiny bit of the showing, because obviously this is the outer corner colour. We're going to be blending up from this point anyway. It's really just packing on that colour. And don't be afraid to be, you know, sort of heavy-handed with this, because you are going to blend it out. This is a really nice colour. In fact, this is just a really nice eyeshadow palette. It has just like all the colours you could ever want in here. So next, going in with a slightly fluffier, longer brush, and just using the next shade of green I'm going to use, and this is this one here, and that's in shade Nature. And just from the crease area, you're just going to over the top of that same colour and sort of pulling it across your crease. This is actually the look I wore on my work Christmas party, and I really wanted to take a picture of this look before we went out, but we were like in a hurry, so I didn't actually take a picture of it before we left the house. And then I took a picture of it that I uploaded to Instagram, like, but the photo was when we got home, so it was kind of like how my eyeshadow look still looked when I got home, which like was still a little bit intact, but you couldn't really see the blending as nicely, which was a shame because I was like fairly proud of this look. So we're just going around the outside of that, and like I say, just building that up here in the crease area. Just be sure to start on top of that darker shade, and then just sort of blending that, and you can keep building this lighter colour on top, but making sure that that dark colour is nicely blended. So once you've got that blended nicely, you're going to take like a flippy, like long brush, and you're going to take this sort of, it kind of looks yellow on camera, but it's kind of a yellowy green kind of colour. I'm going to take that, and again starting in this area, and just sort of wiggling as you go. And being sure to take that right out here as well, because I'm going for a really nice sort of blown out look, and we're going to go under the eye and stuff as well too. I feel like I should tell you a little bit about myself while we're just doing this. So, as you might or might know, I'm originally from Sunderland, and I now live in Sheffield, and that's just basically because of my job. Like, when I finished my degree, which I did at Loughborough, I took a job here in Sheffield, and just going back in with that, the more medium shade of green, and I just sort of saw this job that I got accepted to, and was like, you know what, first job fresh out of uni, like I'll just take it wherever I go, sort of thing, as long as it's the right job for me. And as it's turned out, like it's been really nice, and it's been nice to be here and stuff, but obviously like moving to a new city, and when you don't know anyone, it's actually really difficult. Like I really underestimated how hard that was going to be. But you know, like I'm here now, and I've met my boyfriend here, and like we live together now. So you know, I've been here for it's coming up to about 3.5 years now. So you know, it is really nice. So I'm just gonna go back in with the darkest green colour on the outer corner again, but really focusing just on the very outer V. So what I want to do is I want to include a little bit of black just to add some depth to it. So we have the black colour, which is shade NYC, and I'm just taking that on like a pointed pencil brush. And just really focusing that on the outer V as well. Don't worry if you feel like you've put too much black in there, because we're just gonna blend that black now, and with that dark colour again. So getting your first initial brush and just kind of going over that black area with that dark shade, and just sort of pulling it in a little. Just continue to go in with all your colours until you feel like it's all blended out, because here I feel like I have a little bit of a harsh bit between the light green and that dark green. So just kind of like wiggling your brush. Okay, so I'm quite happy with how that is now. What I'm going to go in with, as you probably know, I do love a cut crease. So I'm going to cut my crease with the same concealer that we originally started with. So that's the Revolution Conceal and Define. I'm going to take it on the brush I was originally going to prime my lids with, but it was too much effort. And I'm just going to take a little bit on that brush, and I'm just going to, as best as possible, follow the line of my crease to sort of where that green is, and then pulling it down. If you want to take it slightly higher than where your natural crease is, so that when your eye is open you can see it, because again, hooded eye girls like myself, you might want to take it a little bit higher. And again, try not to take too much product. I've took quite a lot here. Just wipe it off your brush onto your hand. Because you don't want too much, because here we're going to go in with some nice golds and glitters. Okay, so when you've done that, we're then going to go in with a nice gold shade. So I'm going to take this gold one here. I'm not going to lie, this does apply way nicer with your finger, but I am going to apply a bit with the brush, and then if I need to, top it up with my finger. So like I say, I'm going to go in with that gold colour, and I'm going to use a flat brush. And these shimmers in this palette are a really bizarre consistency. It's really hard to explain. They sort of like melt together to make this sort of foiled look. Maybe they are a foil, maybe that's it. I've never had an eyeshadow like this same texture before. So that's why I was like, maybe they are foil, because it just, even when you're trying to swipe it onto your brush from in the pan, it sort of like goes like a foiled waxy sort of texture. So once you've got this sort of gold on, what I'm then going to go in with is a smaller sort of flat brush, and I'm going to go in with this. So I've just had this yellow one. I'm going to go in with this champagne colour, and just taking a bit of that and going over that sort of overlapped region there between the green and the gold, just to really give that a really nice shimmery even transition. So this is going to cover the transition between the gold and the green, but also taking it in as far as sort of the centre of the lid, because this is the part of the eye that really pops, and this is the part that we want the most shimmery magical goodness going on. So I'm really happy with how that is now. I have got a little bit of fallout. You do get a little bit of fallout with the glitters. The actual shadow shades are not bad. So I'm just gonna do my eyeliner and lashes, and then we'll go in with the lower lash line. I can do a full review of this palette if you think this is something you'd like to see. I'm going to try and create a few different eye looks from this palette because I'm on a low buy this year. Not no buy, but I'm gonna try and keep it as minimal as possible so I can try and save some money. And honestly, from what I've heard, I think a lot of other people are, like you might be too. And so I just thought that it was very conscious to sort of make use of what we already have. So I'm going to try and get a bit more use out of all my palettes because I think I have all the shades that I could actually sort of reach for. I'm maybe missing a few blue shades. So perhaps I'll buy a new blue palette if I see something I really like. I mean, I must admit I quite like those Huda Obsessions palettes, and there's like a blue one that's quite nice. I do quite fancy myself that. And Huda's now going to be coming to Boots in the UK soon, which will obviously be awesome that we can get hold of that without having to pay for the international shipping charges and stuff. So I didn't tell you, did I? My eyeliner, I used the Crazy Sexy Kohl liner from Soap and Glory, and my liquid liner is the Kat Von D dagger liner. So my lashes are from Prima Lash. I buy them in these sets of 5 pairs. I do have like other lashes, and these ones are sort of like, I'm going to say the medium lash that I have, because I do have very va-va-voom full lashes, and these ones are somewhere like in between. So I'm going to apply these. You can see when they're on. Like, this lash glue, I must admit, is my absolute ride or die. I've used this for quite a long time. This is the Vegas Nair from iLaw. This is the Strip Lash Adhesive Dries Clear. And I just got this from Superdrug like a while ago, and it's like not dried. It's like one of them where it actually doesn't dry out. Like most lash glues that I have dry out between like lash applications because I don't often wear lashes. So it's kind of like I'll have had it for maybe like 3 weeks to a month, and then it's dry the next time I go to reach for it, which is really just not great, you know, when you're paying for a product you want it to last. So this one's been really good. I've had it quite a few months now, but it's not dried out. Okay, as you can see, these lashes are kind of like more medium. They're not quite as full as the ones that I used for the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. If you want to see the look I created with that and a little bit of a review on that palette, you can check that. I'll link that up here. But yeah, these lashes are from Prima Lash, and honestly, like, I think they're really great because the strip is really bendy and like flexible. It's really thin as well, so easy to apply. And I think as well, like, a tip that I would give to you if you're like new to lashes and stuff like that, or you're not very good at applying your lashes, I would say apply the lash first. Like, apply your black eyeliner, liquid liner, apply the lash, and if it still doesn't look right, I would line again. So I could go back in now, because this sort of inner corner area is looking kind of naked. And see how just adding that has kind of made it look like my lash extends the full lash line. I think that's a really good trick, like to apply your liner over the top of your lashes, and it like might make your liner look like a lot thicker than you wanted to go for, but what it does do is it kind of blends in your lash with your liner, so that if it's not completely straight and it's not on your lashes that you want it to be, then it blends in really nicely. So I think that's a great top tip to have if you're like new to lashes and stuff. Plus, if you find that the strip isn't bending like you want it to, I would remove it from the packaging, and I would take your maybe a brush and or like eye pencil or something, and I'd wrap it around that, and it kind of like forces the lash to curl a little bit. And I would just make sure you've done that before you go to apply the lashes, so that they're bent slightly, because obviously your lash line isn't straight, and so if you do that, it kind of gives them like a nice little bit of bend before you go to apply them, making it a lot easier to get them in place. So those are my top lash tips, and basically that is it. If you want to take a little bit of a pop of like highlight in your inner corner, I would suggest this one, Liberation. This is a white sort of metallic-y colour. I would just take it on your finger and just dabbing it in that inner corner like that, and it just gives you that sort of brightening effect in that inner corner there, and just makes it a little bit more glam. So I hope you like this eye look. Please do in the comments below tell me what you think of the look, and what colours you would like to see next time. Obviously I would love to create another look from this palette. Like I was saying, I'm all about using up what you already have. I'm looking at these pinks, these hot pinks and purples here in the centre, and they look really nice. So I might have to create a look with those, and obviously Valentine's Day is coming up, so a pink and purple look would probably be really fitting for that. So please do let me know what you think, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!